Welcome to Just Minding My Business Radio, where we are moving at the speed of God, learning what we didn't know we didn't know. I'm your host, Ida Crawford.
And I'm your co-host, Ruth Haskins.
So grab a pen and paper and get ready for information that you can use.
Welcome to Just Minding My Business Media, LLC. Age is no barrier. It's a limitation you put on your mind. Jackie Joyner Kersey. Today we welcome Lorraine Maguire, who has overcome many personal challenges in her life and is now on a mission to help other people rise above the beliefs that are holding them back. She's overcome alcoholism, drugs, low self-confidence, overeating and excess weight, anxiety and panic attacks. Today, she helps others transform their lives through her work as a rapid transformational therapist and hypnotherapist and motivational speaker. Welcome, Lorraine, or should I say welcome back?
Thank you.
Wow, what a story.
Thank you. It's so nice to be here with you ladies.
Yes, likewise. And tell everybody where you're coming from.
Yes, so I'm in Auckland in New Zealand. So it's a day ahead of you guys. And it's the middle of the day for me and the evening for you guys.
Yes. Absolutely. So Ruth read a little bit about your story. You want to talk about it?
Sure. Yeah, so there's so much and it's like when I talk about it, I'm like, which bit do I talk about? Do I talk about the alcoholism? Do I talk about the overeating? Do I talk about the anxiety and the panic? And I think what it all kind of comes down to more and more what I'm seeing is most of it was all about repressing my feelings. Most of it was about, ignoring my feelings, not being true to myself, having an inability to speak up. And so, I pushed down my feelings with alcohol, or sometimes I would use alcohol to feel because I felt like I was quite controlled about what I showed people around me. I didn't want, I thought emotions were a burden. I thought that being too emotional was like, oh, you're so sensitive, or, like you were judged or criticized for your emotions or ridiculed, laughed at school and things like that. So all these things that happened made me believe that don't show emotion. So some of the things I did was to help me feel, like drinking, I would feel more. And some things was to suppress and push down the feelings. So food was one that I definitely used to push down the feelings. And so all of these things now, using rapid transformational therapy. I mean, I've used 12-step groups. I've done, talk therapy, psychotherapy, all different types of things over my journey. And the thing that I do now is the rapid transformational therapy for myself and for others. And it really is programs, like I say, I'm on a mission to help people overcome the beliefs that are holding them back. And my belief is that the beliefs we have are just programs, like I'm programmed to believe that I'm not good enough. I'm programmed to drink. I'm programmed to smoke, to overeat. And once we find those programs, we just delete them. We upgrade them. We give them a new, run a new software program in my mind. And so, I'm constantly updating the software in my mind. And I've updated the alcohol program. I've updated the drugs program. I like to say I choose to be drink-free, drug-free, smoke-free, gluten-free, 95% sugar-free. These are my choices now, as opposed to I'm an ex-addict or anything like that. So. Yeah, it's been an interesting journey, and it keeps continuing.
Yes, and I think your story is the story of so many, and they haven't, like you did. You took the time to dig inside and find out what your triggers were. Mm-hmm. And how did you finally get to that place to really pay attention to what was going on in the inside and digging deep?
That's a great question, because and it's really pertinent because I spent so many years looking outside. I spent so many years looking to the 12-step program to fix me, to someone else to fix me, to a therapist, to somebody to tell me what I should do, how I should be. And the realization when I came across Rapid Transformational Therapy, even though it is a therapy that somebody's taking you through, you're going inside using hypnosis. So for me, the final trigger was the overeating again, because I'd done that on and off through my life. I was, about 15, 16 years sober, but I was back in the food. And I just realized all these things that I was doing, all these solutions that I was looking for just weren't working. And RTT helps me to go inside to find out what's going on for me. And I know that the solutions are within me. I know that I have all the answers within me, but sometimes they're just blocked, And so, yeah, it is a very, very important thing to go within and clear away things in the past that are no longer useful.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So can you
Absolutely.
tell us a little bit about what rapid transformational therapy is?
Yes.
What is it?
Sure, absolutely. So Rapid Transformational Therapy was created by a woman called Marissa Peer. She's UK and USA based, but she's from the UK, and she's been a therapist for well over 30 years, and she put all of her 30-year experience together. So she's taken hypnotherapy, psychotherapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, neural linguistic programming, all these different types of healing modalities, and put them into what she calls rapid transformational therapy. So it does involve hypnosis as a basis to get into the subconscious mind. So hypnosis is just a relaxed state of awareness where you can talk between the conscious and the subconscious. So what we can do is we can find those triggers. We can find those things that are causing what's happening today. So I might be drinking today or smoking today or doing drugs today or overeating today, but the trigger is somewhere back in my past. And so in rapid transformational therapy, we can find what's the root cause, where has today's feeling originated, and we can change, we can't change what happened, but we can change the meaning of what happened. So, if you go back to a scene where mum and dad are fighting, for example, and, most children will have seen mum and dad fight at some point in their lives, maybe not a physical, just an argument, but it's scary. And it's not the fight that's scary that hurts us. It's the belief that I'm powerless to stop mum and dad fighting, or it's my fault that mum and dad are fighting, or I've done something to cause this. I must be a bad child. That's what hurts us long term, because we go, oh, I'm powerless now, I'm always going to be powerless. Or, not being allowed to have as much ice cream as you want as a child. And so you go, when I'm old enough, I'm going to eat ice cream every single day. And then, like myself, when I left home, I got a job, I got my own money, and I started eating ice cream every day. It wasn't what happened at that age. It was the fact that when I was little, I said, I'm going to eat ice cream every single day. And so, what RTT can do is to help people get into the subconscious beliefs that are causing the symptom of whatever they're experiencing today. And then, like I said, upgrade it, delete it, get rid of it, if it's there to help me. Because a lot of the things that happened to us when we were children were coping methods, were strategies for survival, for fitting in, for belonging, for connection. But if it's not working for me today, then I need to change that. And that's where RTT can really help.
Wow. Now, when you come out of the hypnosis,
yes,
what does that part look like?
Yep.
After you come out of the hypnosis?
Yeah. So in a session with me, we'll have a little chat at the beginning, and then I'll put somebody into hypnosis. I'll help them to find the root cause of whatever's causing what's happening in their life today. We'll do lots of different techniques to help reframe, transform the beliefs, get them to understand, when I was 5, I believed this, and this is what's causing what's happening in my life today. And then at the end, when you bring them out of hypnosis, you remember everything. Like we'll have a chat about what came up. Some people are really, really relaxed. Some people do forget over time. So, for example, if I want to use my own experience, I have to write down what happened because I forget quite quickly after hypnosis what things came up in the session. But some people remember it clearly, and so it's a really just a relaxed state of awareness where we can talk together. So a lot of people have this expectation that I'm going to be able to make them do something that they don't want to do, or, you know, like they've seen those hypnotist shows where you make them cluck like a chicken or bark like a dog or something. I can't do any of that. I haven't been trained in it. I'm not quite sure. I haven't tried it on anyone. But it really is just a place where, you know, like if you're driving down the road and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I missed that part of the road. Like, oh, did I go through a traffic light? What happened? Your mind's in hypnosis in that place. Your conscious mind is drifting off doing something. Your subconscious mind has taken over and driven the car. So we all can go into that hot hypnotic state. Or if you're daydreaming or reading a book, you can go into a hypnotic state. And it's just a natural state of mind that we all go into. It's just where we can access that subconscious. And then afterwards, once we've come out of hypnosis, we can have a chat. I'm really light, so when I'm in hypnosis, I can hear, you know, if there's noise in the neighborhood or the helicopter goes over or cars go past or animals or anything. Some people are really deep and I'll say, oh, I'm really sorry, the lawn's got mowed next door, and they're like, I didn't notice. So it's different for different people, but it is just a place where we can interact.
Okay, I have a question here. So hypnosis is a conversation that comes between the conscious and the subconscious. Where is meditation? What part of the brain is that engaging?
Oh, good question. And I'm not 100% certain. I know that there's different levels of brain waves and, you know, alpha, delta, theta, different brain waves. My understanding is in hypnosis, your conscious and your subconscious are there. So if I get a client, well, like every client gets a hypnotic recording, and they listen to the hypnotic recording at home, they don't have to consciously try and let go of thoughts. You know, they don't have to consciously try and focus their attention on what I'm saying. They can put the hypnotic recording on and think about their shopping. You know, or the things that they need to do this week. Their subconscious mind's listening and hearing what I'm saying to them in the hypnotic recording. And hypnosis is hypnotic. A natural brainwave is a place where we're more suggestible, which is why they do this, you know, the shows and things like that, because you're more open to suggestion. With meditation, a lot of people are trying to let go of the thoughts that are coming into their mind, quieten the mind. Whereas with hypnosis, it is just about just listening to that hypnotic suggestion. And a lot of clients say to me, oh, I can't focus on what you're saying. And I'm like, don't worry about it. Just put it on, roll your eyes up, lie down, do the technique, and then just listen to it. I fall asleep to mine and I still get the programming. So, and I think meditation is you're trying to calm your mind down and you're trying to focus maybe on your breath. Some people do breathing meditation. Some people might do a mantra. And what they do is when your mind wanders off, you try and bring yourself back to your breath, or you try and bring yourself back to your mantra. With hypnosis, it's like, don't worry if you can't hear everything I'm saying. Just let your subconscious mind listen.
Well, that was explained very well.
No, that was explained very well. So, one more question. When you're having these, you know, like you said, finding the triggers, the deep down triggers, can this also be applied to reprogramming the subconscious concerning limiting beliefs?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's absolutely what it's about. So in a session, that's exactly what we're looking for. So for example, if I use alcohol, I haven't done a session for me on alcohol, but I just know what would happen. I would go back to scenes where I was at high school, I was a teenager, and I wanted to fit in. I wanted to belong. I wanted to be one of the cool girls. And so my mind will have decided that drinking was cool, drinking was fun, drinking helped me to feel connected, drinking helped me to feel a sense of belonging. Fast forward that to when I was alcoholically drinking, none of that stuff was true. It wasn't fun anymore. It wasn't cool. I wasn't connected. I was actually being isolated. People didn't want to be around me when I was that drunk. I was getting into blackout. And so none of those things are true anymore. So once we see them in a session, then we change them and we rewire exactly what you said. We reprogram the subconscious for the new belief. So the new belief is, I love being sober. I'm choosing to be sober. I'm choosing to love my life sober. Or if it's, smoke free, I'm choosing to be smoke free, because a lot of people have in their mind for smoking, for example, this image of, I don't know, James Dean in a leather jacket smoking. It's really cool. Nowadays, you're outside in a hidden little place, you're sneaking a cigarette, you're spraying your hair, brushing it. You don't want people to know that you smoke. It's so much more frowned upon. It's not as acceptable in society. It's not this cool image. But the subconscious mind is still holding on to this James Dean image, and we want to reprogram that to what's the reality today or what we want it to be. So whether that belief is something like I'm not lovable, I'm not enough, we reprogram it, or whether it's something like alcohol is cool, James Dean smoking is cool, we change those beliefs.
Okay.
This is very interesting. This is very, very interesting.
Yeah. So how do you apply that to overeating or binge eating or?
So with overeating or binge eating, there's different types of eaters. So you might find somebody is an addictive eater. So then you want to reprogram the mind to be indifferent to the thing that they're addicted to. So I choose to be indifferent to sugar now, ice cream, chocolate, the things that I used to be addicted to. You might have an emotional eater. So an emotional eater will eat any emotion. So, yay, I got a new job. Let's celebrate with some food. Oh, my boyfriend broke up with me. I'm sad. Let's sit on the couch and eat some ice cream or whatever. So you want to then rewire the brain to know that I can cope with these emotions. I don't need to comfort my emotions or push down my emotions. You might have a habitual eater. So it might be someone who's just got some bad habits. For example, in New Zealand, school hours, say your school finishes at somewhere between 3 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and your mum would say, have a snack, go and play, do your homework, and I'll see you at dinner. So 3 to 4 o'clock comes now as an adult, and you feel like you have to eat something. You're not actually hungry. It's just the afternoon habit that you picked up as a child. Or, always having popcorn at the movies, or always having sweets on a car trip. They're habits. I'm not hungry, I don't need the food, but when I get in a car, I have to eat. Or you might have angry eaters. So the difference between an angry eater and an emotional eater is they don't eat all their emotions. They just, anytime they're angry, they're taught maybe not to express their anger, so they suppress and chew, like really crunchy because it releases the tension. So with each different type, once you find the person, what the person's type is, once you find what their trigger is, then you help them to change that. You help them to find different ways to cope, different ways. So for me, being overweight and being a binge eater was a way to protect myself from unwanted male attention, because my mind believed that if I was overweight, no man could hurt me. Now, that's not actually 100% true, because, men could hurt me no matter what size I was. However, my mind believed that. And so now I believe that I can be slim, fit, slender, strong, and I can protect myself. And funnily enough, I haven't had unwanted male attention anyway, because I've reprogrammed my mind, and it's just not even there. I don't see it.
Okay.
So how do people get in touch with you? Because this is very, very different in terms of coaching.
Yes. Yeah, so LorraineMcguire.com is my website, or Lorraine Mcguire Therapy on Instagram or Facebook. I'm not hugely overly active on social media, but, you can see me there. And but the best way to do is to, I've got a free 20-minute, no obligation call. People can book either a phone call or a Zoom, have a chat with me, talk about their issues, and then see whether what I do is right for them. But I do believe that anything that I'm doing today that I don't want or I don't like in my life is a program somewhere that we can find under hypnosis and change that.
Wow. That is very, very unique.
I have one more question, because I think people may be listening and they're thinking, okay, what are my triggers? How do I figure out what it is that I would even want to talk to you about? Is there a way that they can start the process of figuring things out, so that when they do have that one-on-one with you, they bring something to the table that they can work with.
What a great question. Yeah. And so I say to people, because a lot of people come with multiple issues, right? It's not just like I'm drinking or I'm smoking, you know, like there can be crossovers and things. And maybe I'm drinking and I don't feel confident, or I'm drinking and I'm overweight, and so I say to people, what's the thing that's causing you the most distress or discomfort in your life today? Don't think about what the trigger is. Don't think about where it's come from. Don't think about why you've got it. Just think, what is the thing that's causing me the most distress? Is it my eating? Is it my drinking? Is it my inability to speak up on stage? Or is it something happening in the workplace? You know, another good thing is to do, if I was going to go to Google and say, I need help with, what would that thing be? You know, what's the root cause for why I do such and such? You know, that's always a question that I ask people. So even if you don't know, even if you think, oh, I'm quite interested in this, but you don't know, have a 20-minute chat with me. If you decide to then have a session, I've got a big intake form with lots of questions that help me to narrow down some information to prepare. But also, I don't actually even need that, because like Ida said earlier, everything's inside us, you know, like we need to go inside. So even if someone comes to me and they're unclear, I can help them to just go inside and find clarity. So a lot of women are like, well, I don't know what my ideal weight should be. I don't know what a healthy weight for me should be. Under hypnosis, I get them to find this part of them that has all the answers, and it says you need to weigh X amount. And even that can come from within us. So if people don't really fully know, there's questions that we can help to find that.
Amazing. Yes. And I say that because there is such there's so much negativity that has come from hypnosis, you know, about hypnosis. Like you said, you know, teaching people that, you know, if I tell you this, you're going to wake up clucking like a chicken. You know, and so there is no real knowledge, let's say real knowledge of what hypnosis is and how it can be used in the right way. Yes. Is not the common notion about hypnosis.
Yeah. And there's so many movies as well, like that make, yes. You know, I mean, I've literally just read a book where in the book, this woman gets hypnotized to completely forget her whole past and create a whole new personality. Like, I don't actually think that's possible, but you know, people get these things and they think, oh, you're going to get into my mind and you're going to make me do stuff. Hey, if I could do that, I would be a millionaire with a mansion and a boat and a Lamborghini or something, because I'd be going, and you're going to pay me and you're going to give me a car. You know, like you can't do that. Even under hypnosis, you can't make someone do something that they don't want to do, which is why those hypnotist shows, first off, they'll say, who wants to be on stage? And you've got the person going, they're not going to pick that person who's looking down and not being, they're going to pick the person going, pick me, put me on stage, because already they want to be on stage. Already they're open to being suggested. Then they'll do some techniques. They might say, your hands are glued together, lock your hands together. And this is not even under hypnosis. And some people in the audience will be like, oh my God, I can't open my hands. And it's actually, they're not even under hypnosis. So he's like, yep, I want you on stage because you're believing this suggestion. And then other people are like, and they go, no. So the hypnotist is picking out people that are, you know, extroverted, who are open to doing these things on stage. And then when you have someone on stage and they might be all in their seats under hypnosis, and he says, when I click my fingers or tap you or something, you're going to get up and do this silly dance. And you'll have somebody who is really slumped in their chair who won't get up. And the hypnotist will say something like, oh, they're just so deep, we'll just let them sleep. Now, I don't know for certain, but I think that they don't want to do whatever that hypnotist is saying. And so they are just staying in the chair. And the hypnotist won't go, oh, they don't want to do what I'm saying. He'll go, oh, they're so deep, let's just leave them there. You know, like he might try and deepen them and to get them to do it. And if they don't heal, you know, they'll have a patter that makes it seem like that's just normal. But actually, I would be sitting there going, no, I'm not doing that. But you're so relaxed that you're not going to say, no, I'm not doing that. You're just like, I'm just going to stay here.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even if I say so one of the techniques under hypnosis, if you go to somebody who's hurt you, you can speak to that person and you can say, hey, what you did really hurt me. Now, if somebody's struggling, I might give the person some words, and if they don't like the words that I give them, they will change them. So even, and even when I'm doing a session, and I've done it myself, when I've had sessions, somebody said, say this, and I've said it just slightly different, something that feels a bit more right to me, and people will say, no, Lorraine, that doesn't seem right, and I'll go, okay, let's try something else. So yeah, we've got to want it, and you're not going to do it if you don't want to.
Wow,
Right.
that's amazing.
Well, I think you've just done away with some myths.
Yes, you
Good,
have.
I hope
Quite
so.
a few.
Yeah,
Well,
quite
I
a
mean,
few.
I was the same, because when I first was training in London, I felt sorry for the girl who first hypnotized me because nothing happened. And when the trainer came over, one of the things that we realized, well, first off, she said, what are you feeling right now? And I went, I'm not even good enough to do this, because I had such a core belief of I'm not enough that I didn't think I was even good enough to be hypnotized right, but there's no right way or wrong way to do this. And then the next thing that came up was I'd seen so many of those shows, and I'd seen some ones where they'd made people do sexual stuff. And I had said, no one is going to hypnotize me. Hypnosis is humiliation. And so I had to break that own belief in myself.
Mhm.
Now I believe hypnosis is healing, not hypnosis is humiliation.
Wow.
But even I had that belief. Yeah.
Wow. We're going to have to do this again for sure.
Mhm.
Oh, we could do some live hypnosis.
Yes. I was just thinking that. So again, how do people get in contact with you?
Yes, so definitely get in touch with me via lorrainemcguire.com. That's the best way to do it. All my information's on there. Book a free 20-minute call with me. I can talk to you about anything, any issue that you've got. I can help you with. So yeah, I'm open to trying this on any issue.
All right. Absolutely. I might have to call on you. I've got an issue that I might need to be hypnotized.
Do it.
Yes, indeed. Well, this has been a pleasure. We definitely have to do this again because this is very interesting. And I mean, we've spoken with a lot of coaches, but never a coach that actually hypnotizes you to help you break through whatever's going on. So this is definitely different, and we want to know more about it.
Excellent. I'm happy to come back and happy to share, pick some case studies that, with real clear things so that people can go, oh, okay, to see how that works. And like you said, I love what I do because I'll have a coaching session and half the session will be talking and the other half will be hypnosis. If I don't know the answer, I'm like, right, let's just put you into hypnosis because you know the answer. I mean, it's perfect.
That is pretty good.
That is good. All right, my dear. Definitely come back. We can definitely sit down and plan the next show because I wanted to definitely grab people and really help them to understand how this technique can help them. So we're definitely going to have to do this again. And thank you so much
You're so
for
welcome.
gracing our platform with this important information. We appreciate it.
Indeed.
Thank you. Thank you both. It's been wonderful.
Thank you for tuning in to Just Minding My Business Radio. I'm your host, Ida Crawford.
And I'm your co-host, Ruth Haskins.
We hope you enjoyed the show and appreciate you stopping by. Many blessings to you and yours. Thank you for tuning in to Just Minding My Business Radio. I'm your host, Ida Crawford.
And I'm your co-host, Ruth Haskins.
We hope you enjoyed the show and appreciate you stopping by. Many blessings to you and yours.